So the rider's got a lot of information here on the approach to the first right bend, but he isn't in the correct position as he's going round. Also carrying quite a lot of speed there as well, so obviously not on the throttle as he's going through that bend. Let's see how he copes with the next series of bends there. There's the warning signs for it, so plenty of information. I hope he's scanning across to the right there to see where this road goes. Yeah, again, he's not really keeping well to the left there. It would have given him a much better view round the bend, and he's lost quite a lot of pace as well. Coming around the left bend then, reasonable position here actually, pretty good. Again, he's using his throttle now to maintain some pace, and we're now coming to another series of bends. A lot of white paint on the road and a poor road surface as well. It's good that his position has taken into account the road surface, but he's just too close to the centre line. Something could come round the bend. Don't know how long it took him to actually observe the 30 mile an hour speed limit, but seems to have complied, so that was quite good. Moving on then, another series of bends coming up ahead. Again, the road surface, although it's dry, is quite scarred in places. We're in a national speed limit now, but the speed limit is not a target. Let's see how he copes with the right and the left bends. Again, he's cutting across that and he's leaning across into the path of potential oncoming vehicles. But this time he's found a nice balance between accommodating the road surface and keeping away from the white van. Coming around the right, again he's cutting across there, very close to the white centre line, so that's something that we'll need to highlight. Position for this left bend's quite good, does tend to go around there quite nicely. Position for the right bend now, again far too close to that centre line, so we'll need to address that. Got a tight right bend coming up again. Speed on this is a little bit quick, and as he's coming over the brow, he's actually on the brakes for this left-hand bend, so it's destabilised the bike very close to the oncoming vehicle. So going through the information phasing of our system, hopefully our rider's actually picked up that we've got some series of bends coming up. We've got warning lines in the middle of the road. Yeah, he's maintaining a reasonable position on the approach there, but does need to keep well over to the left on, and as he goes round those right-hand bends. I don't know if you've seen in the distance the oncoming car. Interesting to see that he hasn't adjusted his position, and that was very close, so we need to be looking at his scanning and planning skills. There's another high-risk area. Coming around the left-hander then, we're setting it up now for another series of bends. Making reasonable progress here, holding the line, so nice acceleration. Obviously got the right gear there. Okay, so we're now on another road here with a different type of road surface, a little bit of mud there. Looking ahead, we've got the national speed limit. Speed is not a target. Our rider is accelerating quite heavily into this series of bends coming up. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him braking on this bend. Maintaining a reasonable position around there, but the bike is unstable when you're braking on a bend. Looking ahead, we can see that there's sharp deviation signs to the left, and as he's going around the bend, he's probably in a too high gear because he's drifting out. He's carrying too much speed into the hazard. The road now is bearing around to the left, and what we're looking at now is signs of where the road is going to go. So we're looking well ahead, hopefully, looking at the street furniture, the way that the hedgerows are leading us. White lines, warning lines still in the middle of the road, and now we're looking well ahead and setting up for another left-hand bend. He's not very confident here. Oh, and he's braking as he's leaning round the bend. But he is drifting very close to those oncoming vehicles, so he didn't make allowances for that. And he does need to make sure that he drops some of this speed off before entering some of these hazards. All the information there is telling him to slow down, sharp deviation signs. He's still carrying quite a lot of speed in there. Looking at his gears to see if he's actually using the most appropriate gear, giving him that flexibility to pull him up the hill, and he altered his position there to move away from the oncoming vehicle. Now we're catching up with another road user as we go round the right-hand bend. Now, we really should be sacrificing position for safety here. It's too close to the left, to the pedestrians and indeed the vehicles waiting in that junction. So he really should be centre of his lane there on the approach to those hazards.